I just realized the sound was off. Sorry, just give me a second. Come on. Okay, so welcome to Da Vinci Eye App Live with myself, Charity Low. If you don't know what the app is and would like to try the app for free for a year, let me know. Just send me an email. The email is below, and I will give you a promo code to try it for free. And just let me know what kind of device you are using, because each device has its own promo code. Anyways, we're starting a new project, so I'm going to show you the setup, like how to set things up to, yeah. We're going to start with getting the reference photo that we're working with. So if you want to draw along with me, yeah, here's one way to do it. So you're going to go to the top left corner where there is 3 lines. I'm going to search profile, and you're going to look up charitylowsart. If I can even spell it. Sorry, I got to stand up for this. I can't spell my own name. And then you go into like the little light bulb, and then you find, they have a bunch of like stencils and line art you guys can use for free. And with those, you are free to use them, sell what you've created with them. Just don't sell the stencils because they are free. And yeah. So we're going to click on the image, and then you click the little picture button that's on the bottom of it. And then you press draw this. And we're going to use AR mode. This way it will realign itself during the sessions that we are going to be taking. So it's going to be a multiple day project. I'm actually going to crop my paper. Well, first I'm going to show you this. So the anchor is what the image tracks, or like the camera tracks to lock the image in place. So you could have your table at an angle if it's more comfortable for you, or the camera at an angle if it's more comfortable for you. I just have it flat across. I find it is more accurate, even though it is pretty accurate regardless of the angle. And also I have my phone streamed onto a smart TV, so I just have to look at the smart TV, and I don't have to worry about straining my neck or it being too high for me to look through. So what we're gonna do first, I'm just gonna loosely place this for now because I want to trim the paper. So I'm gonna move this, expand it to all the way to the edges, and then lock it in place. And I'm gonna mark with a pencil, which is a small mark with a hard pencil, like a 2H pencil. And then another thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to measure, just to make sure it's nice and even on both sides. I'm going to measure the empty space that we're not going to be using, just to make sure. So this is 4.5 inches. And then this one's just a little off, so I'm going to measure that as well as 4.5, just so it's nice and straight. take an eraser, clean off that other mark that we did. And then I'm going to take another ruler, which I don't think this ruler is long enough, so I've got a yardstick, which would work, and just draw a line all the way across. Make sure it's lined up to those marks. Now, this is just one way to do it. There is a more simple way to do this, which is purchase a straight edge paper cutter. But the problem is this one isn't long enough for me to do this. So yeah, just make sure it's nice and squared off. But if not, you can do this way. So I'm going to take some scissors. If you're going to frame this, it really doesn't matter if it's perfectly straight. So yeah. So just take your time cutting. Trying to stay right on that line. And just so you know, I am using an 11 by 14 inch Bristol board paper for this, and I'm cutting it down to a 14 by, what is it? About 6.5. It doesn't have to be exactly, but that's approximately how big it is. You may want to save that extra piece of paper for another project, so just put it somewhere safe. And now we're going to place the paper on your clipboard. I use a clipboard so that way I can put it away, do another project, and then come back to it at any time. The app will automatically save the placement for you. So yeah, you can have multiple projects going at once and it will save the space as long as you're using AR mode. If you're using classic mode, then it won't do that for you. But classic mode's really good for like really quick sketches. I like to try to tape all the way around. Gives a nice little border. You can do a thicker border if you want, but I just do enough so that if I frame it, it will be covered. You do want the camera up high enough to be able to see the entire drawing surface. And then again, the image just locks onto the anchor, which when you first start this, it will actually go through the steps to make an anchor. They also have anchors. I think they have anchors available that you can buy too, magnetic ones. I don't know if it's still in demo mode for just trying to figure out if it works or not. But so if you want to make a new anchor so that you can have multiple projects going at once, you just go to AR in your tools, anchor, and make an anchor, and then it'll give you the step-by-step instructions on how to do it. My tip is make sure that your camera is parallel to your anchor when taking a picture. You can use a leveling app and a flat table for that to to make that easier. Otherwise, it's just going to warp the image if you don't take it parallel, take a picture of it parallel. So I'm going to tape it down, try not to cover any part of the scribbles. So I'm just doing a small pieces of tape, just covering a very small edge of it. Just make sure it stays in place, but it's not covering anything. And then we're going to press the move button. And we're going to place it where we want it to be. And then press the move button again so that it locks it in place. If you accidentally move your phone, it will still stay in place. If you move your drawing surface, as long as it's in the same place in comparison to the anchor's in the same place compared to your drawing surface, it will stay aligned. Okay, so there's a couple of ways to go about the first step after setting it all up. And that is to either trace it with a light, like a hard graphite pencil, or you can trace it with a light color in the colored pencils that you're using. I really prefer to do just the colored pencils for tracing, because if you draw over it with the colored, like if you draw over a graphite pencil with colored pencil, it will show through and it doesn't look as good. But also the pros to using graphite is that if you accidentally go like mess up a line in tracing, you can erase it and start it over again. But that's not an issue if you just start off with a really light color, like a yellow, and lightly press on there. So like light enough that it's forgiving, and because you can cover light with darker colors easier than the other way around. So that way, yeah, you can draw over it and you won't see the difference with the colored pencil. So it's gonna be really hard to see this. I am using a Faber-Castell cream colored pencil for this because it's a very light yellow. But yeah, I gotta sharpen it first. We're going to get some loud sounds of the pencil sharpener. And then we're going to zoom in. We don't want to do a lot of pressure when tracing, but we can change the opacity if we want to make it easier to see where your trace line is. Oh, and another thing is if it's blurry, let me just show you. If you place down your pencil and it looks blurry, you can press the lock button, kind of move your hand down like from the camera so that it kind of registers that. And then press the lock button again. That will clear up, that will have it in focus, your drawing surface in focus, so it makes it easier to trace. Yeah, there's a little tip. Hi, Raven. Then we're going to turn up the opacity again. Let me just see. There we go. It wasn't showing, so I just covered my hand over the anchor and then just uncovered, and then it just rebooted. So Yeah. So just very, very light. Well, I think I'm going to use a little bit of a darker pencil. Just a little bit, because I don't want to push too hard. But I do want it to be able for me to see. You won't be able to see. You won't be able to see the marks I'm making, but just light pressure. I'm just doing kind of sketchy lines. I'm not doing perfectly straight. If you want to, you can trace every section of basic colors. So like the yellow areas with yellow and the gray areas with a light gray, and you can even trace the black areas with the black if you want. But yellow is easily covered by all of these, so you don't have to worry too much about colors mixing. But nice and light pressure. We don't want to let me see. I am having word problems. We don't want to press hard because we don't want to dent the paper, because denting the paper leaves a permanent mark that we cannot get rid of whatsoever. So let me just show you. By decreasing the opacity, you can kind of see the lines here. You can adjust, again, you can adjust the opacity so it makes it a little bit easier to see where you've traced and where you still need to trace. Or you can use the strobe feature for this too. So I'm using the flattest side of the Bristol board paper, and I cut it down to size, and I cut it down to size by, it's in the beginning of this video, but like I expanded it to cover as much of the paper as I can without losing any of the image. And then I just marked off the sides to get rid of all the extra pieces or extra white area and just cut it down. So there's more of that in the beginning of the video if you want to know how I did that. Now I'm going to show you, after I'm done tracing, a couple of different methods on how to pick colors. There's one really cool app that we're really trying to like make some kind of deal with them to work with us, because the two of the apps would just turn it into a paint by number, which is super cool. But we are not currently sponsored by them. This is just my personal favorite thing. Well, one of my favorite things. But it's still easy to do it without the app too. The app that I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to focus on the car. I'm not going to work on the background, because to me the car is the most important. It is the center of attention. The background is a little bit blurry, and yeah, it won't make much of a difference to the final piece. Love the sharp pencils, you say. Oh, bumped a camera. I'm using an, I'll show you what this is. You can get it off Amazon, or you can get it straight from the company. Getting it straight from the company, if you are in the right area, like, I don't know if they're United States or Canada or whatever, getting it straight from the company is cheaper usually. So just a little tip for art supplies is try to find the actual, finding their personal website for any art supplies, really. I'm very limited to like what I can get straight from companies because I'm from Canada, and most of these companies that I want to buy from are from the United States. You've been going outside using soft pastels much harder. Yeah, drawing from life is difficult. Drawing directly from life. A little fun thing about me and my childhood is my mom was usually, like most of them I can remember, I wasn't even in school yet. I would sit for hours as she sketched and painted me posing. And man, that was a real pain in the butt to do for her. I am so glad we have photographs now, because sitting down for a session is not fun. I think there's a person right here. There's a person right here. I think I might actually end up getting, like, removing them in the final piece. The size of my paper. So I started with an 11 by 14 inch 11 by 14 inch Bristol board paper, and then I used the app to kind of figure out the shape that I need to have for the drawing, and it ended up cutting off 4.5 inches off the top. So it's like so it's 6.5 inches by 14 inches. Sorry, I had to do the math in my head. I'm just gonna go straight from going from left to right, because I just find it's easier to keep track of all the things that I've already done and what I still need to do. And then slowly work down. So just one section at a time. It's less daunting. I do not have a frame for it. I absolutely don't. But there are some options that you can these are the options. You can either try to find the closest, slightly larger if you want, size frame. You could do a larger frame and then get matting to fill in the space. Or you can go and get a custom frame done. But custom frames are a lot more expensive. And be honest, I don't know the last time I've drawn a car. I think I've done a sketch of a car with the Vinci Eye app, but this one's going to be more of a finished piece than a quick sketch. Goodwill and the dollar store. Yes, those are good places to find frames. I think it's silly. Like, even though this is a custom size, because I wanted the whole picture I want to be able to draw the whole picture. But you can get, this is the thing that I find silly. So they have books of paper of certain sizes. So like 11 by 14, 14 by 18, and 24, 14 by 17 and 18 by 24. So those are the sizes I normally go for. But one of them does not, you cannot find a custom, like a pre-made frame for that size. And I believe that is the 14 by 17. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're going to sell books of a certain size, it makes sense to have pre-made frames for that size. I'm almost done tracing the car. Okay. You can't see it. You cannot see it on camera, but it is there. I'm just trying to think what I want to do next. My brain is really slow today. Okay, so Oh yeah, I know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you the different methods of picking out colors. Let me just see if I can find it here. Sorry, it's just taking a minute as I set this up, and then I can show you what I do. Or at least a thing you could do. Okay, so there's a app. Let me just, this is a super cool app, I think. There's an app that you can get, and that's not a very good angle to see this on. But it's called Colored Pencil Picker. You have all of these sets that you can choose from. So like Prismacolor 36 is what I used to do. I have different pencils now, but there's a whole bunch of different ones here. So you just pick your set, or if you have a custom, like if you pick your own colors and make your own set, there's another one that's an app that the same company, different app that you can do your own custom sets. So we're just going to press on some random one because I'm not going to use this. And then you select your image. And there we go. And then you just zoom in and go over the areas, and it will give you the colors and approximately how many layers you need to do. And it'll give you the name and the number of the pencil for each one. So that's one cheat way of doing that. And this is okay, let me just see. Okay, I'm gonna read the comments. I like watching you draw, thank you. You are showing me how to slow down. Thank you. And it's a good thing to slow down. What is the board that I'm using? I got this board from Michael's. It's just essentially an oversized clipboard. You can use paper that's up to 18 by 24 inch on this clipboard. It will go underneath. It will go underneath this part right here. So there will be kind of a edge that you'll miss, but it's not a big deal. I don't find it that much because it's about the same that I would normally do anyways for edges that are clean. Mine are so hard. I don't know. Sorry, I don't understand that comment. Anyways, so this is the app that you can use for picking colors, which is really cool, the Colored Pencil Picker. The other method is you just have the image on another tablet or print it out. Either one works. Make sure when you print it out, well, it would be helpful if you print it out with a printer that's more like accurate for colors, because not all printers are the same, but it's not really that big of a deal. Because people aren't going to know the difference between the original and your drawing unless if they put it side by side. So yeah. photos. So you're going to pull up your photos. You're going to pull up the image. And then you're going to make yourself a, let me see if I can find it. I had it and I don't know where it went. You're going to make your own swatches of your colors that you have. It's a nice tip for, there it is. Okay. You can print off your own swatches. So I just printed off a page that's blank. It has a rectangle and then a space for the number and the name of the pencil. And then you just fill it in. You can fill it in all really dark if you want, or dark to light. Lots of people do it from dark to light so they can kind of see what it looks like in both intensities of light pressure and dark pressure. And this, what you do is you just kind of look at it, your reference image, and then you pick the lightest color that you see in the area that you want to draw. So for this car here, the lightest would probably be ivory right in the highlights, and there is white, so you want to preserve the white. Don't have to worry about coloring white. I usually, like with Prismacolor, I usually use white to kind of blend in the highlights. But Faber-Castell is a little different. You just preserve it, and you can use other materials to blend your colors, or just slowly build up and it'll have the blending effect too. Cool. Colors is challenging. They are challenging, but I also like the precision of colored pencils over painting and other materials. I'm going to go into strobe and just work. I'm going to work on one section at a time, kind of moving it across a little bit, overlapping, but just to make it so it's not as daunting. So for this section, the lightest that I see is actually closer to cream. So I'm just going to work on the hood, the front part of the car, and then we can, yeah. Are you using Prismacolor pencils? Are you using pastel pencils? I am using Faber-Castell pencils. So from experience with both of Prismacolor and Faber-Castell, Prismacolor is a wax-based pencil, which makes it softer, and the pencils will dull quicker. Good for blending, but not good for fine detail. And Prismacolors, you will go through Prismacolors a lot faster than Faber-Castell pencils. Faber-Castell pencils are made out of oil. They have like an oil base. So they are harder, they keep their sharpness longer, so it's great for details. And also, you can layer more, which would make it more realistic. So do with that information as you please. But other than that, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Use whatever materials that you have. Start off with something that's affordable for you, and then if you enjoy doing a certain medium, then invest in something more expensive. So if you want to, go ahead and buy yourself a Crayola pencil set and start with that, and then once you get used to doing that, then you can go ahead and invest in a set that works best for you. So keep your pencils nice and sharp. We're gonna hold the pencil, the very tip. This will prevent you from pressing too hard, and you're gonna do very tight circular motions. Let me just see what color pencil I said. We said cream, so we're gonna get cream. So yeah, hold your pencil at the very tip. This will prevent you from pushing too hard. We want to make sure we don't make any scratches that are impossible to get rid of. Light circular motions, very tight circular motions. And we're just going to fill in that entire area with yellow, leaving the silver, like the silver areas alone. The highlights aren't really intense. They are really close to cream, so we can just not worry about preserving those areas yet. And you don't have to worry, like, don't worry about getting the intense colors right away. We're just slowly building up, and this will help with blending techniques if you do it this way. Just slowly build up. So we're going to do a lot of layers. I'm using the strobe feature to help me place this color better. So with the mixture of the outline and the app, it will really help keeping things in line. Another tip is you want to start with the lighter colors first, and then just slowly build up with the darker colors, and then we go reverse. For a nice blending technique, we'll go dark to light at the end. I have been studying a lot on YouTube with other artists. I can't remember their names. So a lot of the things that I do say are things that I've learned from other people. So that is something that I strongly recommend for those who really want to get into a lot, like in detail with other mediums, is look for YouTube videos because they are very helpful and they're free. Personally, my favorite mediums are colored pencil and graphite pencils. But with the fact that I get to make ads for the Da Vinci Eye, I need to make things interesting and different each time. I have experience with woodworking. I've done faux stained glass painting. So it's just painting on glass that makes it look similar to stained glass. It's super fun. I paint on fabric. I've done some quilling, which is 3D paper art, which is really cool. So if you want me to give you a quick beginner's tips, I can do that for you. I also prefer to do portrait art. So mostly people, but I'll also do pets. But I am also open to doing any subject just to get you started in your art journey. Okay, so now we're going to go into the next color that we see, which it is a yellow. But we're going to preserve those highlights at this time. I'm going to kind of trace out those highlights that I see, like the really bright highlights, and then work my way around it. Just, again, you're holding the pencil at the very end. Make sure your pencil's sharpened, and you want to do nice, light, circular motions. So we're just preserving that highlight there, and then we can fill in the rest with that yellow. Again, just really light pressure. This will help you get more layers in, which makes it more vibrant later. It won't be vibrant now, but it will be vibrant later. And then also try not to color in those gray, the silver metallic areas yet. We're just staying in the yellow areas for now. I'm looking both at the app that's being streamed to my TV and also at the traced lines. Again, light pressure, nice and light. You want to get, if you do too hard, you won't be able to get the other colors in. There's like a base color, and then there's like the undertones of like light reflecting off of other objects. You want to do it nice and light so you can add those too to make it more realistic. I know on camera it looks like I'm hardly doing anything, but I am. I am doing stuff. Okay, now we want to go and look for the next color that we see. I'm just comparing my reference photo on my other tablet on another device, which again, you can print it off if you need to. Okay, I just think it's the next color. It's kind of like a yellow, but with a little bit of orange to it. And we're going to focus on more of the shadowed areas. I'm going to trace that line that goes across, that very soft line. Well, it's like, I'm trying to figure out the words for it. So it's gradual from the bottom and then gets light. And then there's like another little section where there's like a sharp line and then it gradually gets light again. So I'm working on that top part right now. And it's only sharp in one area and then it's kind of soft in like the center. So yeah. And we're not putting a lot of pressure on it. We're just letting the pencil do its thing with the light pressure. Also holding it at the very edge, like the very end of the pencil. And we're going to try to do a little bit of an ombre effect. We're not putting a lot of pressure on it yet, but we're doing the light pressure and then slowly getting lighter as we get up. And then the same with the bottom section. We're gonna preserve the bright yellow, which is on the top part, and then we're gonna take it down to the bottom part. And we're kind of doing a slight ombre going down. So lighter pressure. We're still doing light pressure all the way through, but even lighter pressure for the top part. So if you don't have the different colors, what you can do is you can just keep on layering it. If you just have the one yellow, but not the variations of the yellow. And just keep on layering it. And then when you get to a point where you get all the basic colors and stuff, then you can go in with some harder pressure, but not too much. If that makes any sense. Also, orange is kind of like if I had a more simple set of pencils, orange would be a nice color for shading in this particular drawing. And also another thing I just thought of, like, you know, I already take requests for different mediums and different subjects. If you want me to go into detail about if you like using limited colors, just let me know what you have and I will draw a picture with what you have if you think that would be helpful for you. I am here to help you, so you get to direct what I do in the future videos. My picture disappeared. That's okay. So it's still got some nice dark orange. So we're still kind of working our way into the darker oranges here. So the next one, yeah, we're just slowly, gradually getting into more of an orange colors is what I'm doing with this pencil set. The top part doesn't really have much of that color except for like right here. I'm gonna add that right in that section. And then a little bit on the top too. There's a bit of a shadow, and I think it's more of a reflection of the background that we're seeing on the top part of the car, but I am going to add that just on top here. I can't believe it's already 11 o'clock. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, grab some tea, water, coffee, whatever you need to get through another hour with me. And I'll be back in about roughly 5 minutes, probably less. So, yeah. See you in a bit. Making sure I'm turning up the volume this time again. Okay, guys, can you hear me? There we go. Because I always forget to turn the volume back on. Anyways, now is a good time to ask me some questions. I'll give you some things, like let you know what's going on right now for some events that are happening. First, let me catch up on this. You make it look so easy to make such awesome drawings. Aw, thanks. Okay, we are doing a art competition on the Facebook page. I'm the one running it, and there are cash prizes for those who win. First place will be $100 US, and second and third place will be $50 US. So how to enter is please send me an email, put like Facebook competition, with a link to your image, like send me the drawing, and then like digitally, not physically. And then your name, the medium that you're using, the size of the medium, the name of it if you want, and we will post it at the end of the month on the Facebook page, Facebook group, which is Da Vinci Eye App's Facebook group, or Da Vinci Eye App's group. And then the people who are in that group will be the ones voting. So it'll be like a point system. Thumbs up 1 point, a heart 2 points, and a surprised face 3 points. And whoever gets the most points wins. So far, right now, I only have 2 people who have entered, and I would really appreciate it if I had more. If you don't know what the Da Vinci Eye App is, but you want to try it for free, please send me an email. My email is in the description. And let me know what kind of device you're using, and I will give you a promo code for that. Yeah, the wow face, I think that's what it is. I don't know the name of those emojis. I'm just doing what I think is. Anyways, what was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. So if you want to try the app for free for a year, send me an email and let me know what kind of device you're using, because each device has its own promo code. What else? If you need tech support, go and email info@davinciieapp.com. There you will be in contact with the app developer himself, which is Sam. Wonderful person, and he is available 24/7. He will get to you as soon as physically possible. What else should you guys know? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Bit about myself. I am a huge fan, and I asked them for a job, and they gave me a job. That's why I'm here. My profession, like, can't think of the word. What I'm really good at is portraits, people and pet portraits, with graphite pencil or colored pencil, with a job that I have with the Da Vinci Eye, which I make a lot of ads for them. I have to do a whole bunch of other things, so I've dabbled in wood burning, some painting. Like, there's this really cool paint called stained glass paint by Deco Art. So I've done a little bit of that too, if you want to kind of see how that works. A little bit of watercolor. So you name it, I will do it. If you want me to do a different subject, then let me know. How will they vote through the Facebook? So you will go through, when you click on a drawing, you can react to that drawing. So If they react with a thumbs up, that's 1 point. If they react with a heart, that's 2 points. And if they react to the wow face, that's 3 points. And you'd have to react to the individual pictures. You don't react to the the entire post, just the individual pictures. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Another thing for future videos, just through the group on Facebook, yes. Everybody who's in the group and on Facebook. And there's a lot of people on that group, believe it or not. They're just very quiet people. What else? If you want me to do videos on different devices, because like I have an iPad, I have an Android phone, I can show you how it all works with that kind of stuff. A little bit more details on how to set up the app and all the little features and stuff. Just let me know what you want me to go through. I will go through that with you as well. So we should send or invite people. You don't have to. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm fine with it. It's generally like that. The group is for people, like designed for people who use the app. It was actually designed, they created it to kind of make up for the fact that Android does not have a social platform attached to it like iOS does. So it was kind of just to kind of, make that, make up for that. I heard, although it's right now just a rumor, they are going to fix that and make Android have that social platform within the app. So, but yeah, if you want to invite people, go ahead, but you don't have to. And then also there's no rules to vote, like putting in your votes. You can vote on many different pieces of artwork. I will be voting on every single one, but with different emojis. So. Anyways. I think we can possibly get back to work. Do you like your tablet better than laptop? I hardly use my tablet. I honestly hardly use it. Everything I do is usually on my phone. But yeah. Okay. I don't know why, I just like the ability to I guess the reason why I like my phone and doing mostly everything on my phone is the fact that it is portable and always there with me. And even with the app, I prefer my phone because it's not so bulky and it doesn't get in the way of the view of other things, but it does have a benefit for a lot of people. Larger space to be able to see more of your drawing, especially if you're looking directly through your phone or tablet. The tablet's just easier for most people, but because I'm streaming onto my TV, I just prefer a phone. Okay, now we're getting back to layering colors, and we are doing like a version of a yellow orange, and we're holding at the tip, like the edge of end of the pencil. For light pressure, it helps prevent you from doing too hard of a pressure. And then we're doing tight circular motions, like really tiny circular motions, light pressure. Another thing is you kind of want to use the side of the pencil more than a tip, because that will just make softer pencil marks, making it look like helping with the blending technique. Should probably, with this spare paper, just kind of quickly show you some good practicing things for shading techniques. So we're going to use two different colors here, or blending techniques, not shading. We're going to put a little bit of pressure, still using the edge of the side of the pencil, and circular motions. I am doing a little bit more like harder pressure than I normally would, but this is only just to kind of make it so it's easier to see. So we're going to do nice, like firm pressure here, and then we're going to slowly get lighter and lighter. And then just slowly get even lighter, so it just kind of fades. And then we're going to take another color and we're going to do like a red. Doesn't matter what color you're using. And then we're going to go from the other side, pretty firm pressure. And then we're just going lighter and lighter as we go. And then you just kind of go back and forth. Just keep on building on top of that over and over again. Until you get it nice and solid looking color. So this kind of gives you a bit of a basic way of blending. This is actually not the ideal way of doing it, but you kind of get the feel. You kind of get the gist of it. So in replace of putting a lot of pressure on the blending technique, you would just layer it over and over again. So light pressure, this is what I mean, light pressure, all the way, doing a nice, and then go over it again, but not go as far, go over it again, but not as far, and over again, and then even go in with a darker color if you want. Doing a darker color. And then just kind of do that, just continuously add layers. This is all the same pressure going through. And then I'm adding a darker color, and then just layering it, less and less space. So you got that. And then also the next thing we can do, this is called varnishing. And this is when you're done, the colors look good, and you want it to be more blended looking. Like we're going to start with the darkest color, and we put quite a bit of pressure at this point. Nice, firm pressure. And then you kind of get lighter as well as you get to the middle. And then we're going to take the medium color, and then you do the light color. So we're going to do in the light color here just to speed it up a bit. And we'll just press quite a bit firmer. This is the very last step because as soon as you do this, you can't layer any more colors. It's very difficult. So then that's where you get the vivid colors, is when you push a little bit harder at the end. And then same with this one where it gets from darker to light. You can press a little bit more, kind of getting a little bit lighter as you go out. Go to the next darkest. And just kind of overlapping those colors that we're pushing into. And then the next. And then even we can finish it off with white. This is, people are like, white's useless. It's not useless. It's great for blending. And then we can just kind of go over it to kind of blend it a bit more. But it's hard to do that once you've pushed in, but it's still, you can, yeah, kind of work with it still. It's not as good, but you can do that. So then you get something like this. Can you see that? So nice ombre shade blending. That's how you do the blending technique. But you first want to layer the colors and then push a lot of pressure from dark to light again. So holding the very end of the pencil, light pressure and circular motions. So that little bit that I showed you earlier is just a quick version of what we're doing. Another way to blend, which you can actually do this after you've done like the more firm pressure for the finishing touches. There are blending like liquid that you can get that will give it more of like a painted look at the end. I can't remember the name of this stuff, so I'm sorry. But usually it's like alcohol based mostly for these blending things. There's like even like can come in a bottle and then you kind of just paint it on with a paintbrush and just blend that way, or use a Q-tip, or you can get like a marker form of it. And yeah, the thing with markers though is that they would pick up the color as well, and then it will bleed into the next section that you will do. So that's not really my favorite method. But I don't have any of this stuff to show you, so I just wanted to let you know that they do exist. Also, when you're looking for stuff like that, you want to know the type of pencil you're using, like if it's a wax-based or an oil-based, because that will determine on what kind of blending medium you would use. Okay. I think I just want to add another layer of this orange yellow that I have. There's a bit of a highlight in the front bottom part here, so I'm going to not shade that in, but I'm going to add just another layer of this. You can zoom in to the areas that you're drawing for more accurate details if you need to. So you don't have to be zoomed out as far as I am. So what I've decided is I'm going to just work on the hood and the front of the car first. That way I don't have to worry about too much about making it perfectly blended to the door. If that makes any sense. I don't know if I make sense sometimes. But like, it is a separate section. There's a line in between it, so yeah, we don't have to worry about the entire piece first. And there's some really dark areas on this car, some really dark shadows. There's not a lot of them, but they're there. And I'm trying to figure out, like, I take the color I see on the page and then I look to see what color would possibly mix well to make that color. So like, here's a few options. I can go into the orange, or I can do a little bit of red, or I could do brown. Those are the three colors that I see that could possibly go well with this drawing. I think I'm going to do with the orange, and then I'm going to go over it with a bit of brown. So there's really small areas, like right where the headlight is. There's a little bit of shadow there. And then the bottom part of the car, just right here, there's a little bit of that. There's also, I see some dents in the car. You can do those if you'd like. So, is the color app free? There is a free version, but it'll only give you like 1 or 2 colors to mix. It's great to test out at first. And I do think that I'm not 100% sure. I should check into this. I do believe it's a one-time purchase. I think I'm going to add that little dent in there because it'll just give it more of a rustic look. And I'm still using that orange for that section. Light pressure and circular motions. And then we're going to look at our browns to see which one would work best in those areas. It's a warm brown. Let's see, is this it? I can go over it again if you want real quick. How that app works, even though this video is not about the app, but and I probably won't go over it again in any future videos, just like let you know it exists. Not about the colored pencil app. Let's go back. So when you open it, it'll give you all the sets that you can have. There's also another one that's Make Your Own, which is a different app, but it's the same company. And you just pick the set you have, and then you can upload from your album. And then you just zoom into the little sections, and then it'll give you, it will give you little things here to look at, right? This will give you the name of the pencil and the number, and then this is the color that you want to try to mimic right here, and then it'll give you also like how many layers each one you need, approximately. It's not exact, it's not accurate, but it's a good starting point for learning how to see those little minor colors that kind of like the undertones. Anyways, that's it. That's all I'm going to go through because I'm here for the Vinci Eye app, not for this other app. I can send you that later. I'll send you that later. And then I'll talk to you a little bit more about that too. Okay. I don't want to use this brown for the final step because I think it's too dark. I'm going to go into the next color. Actually, I think I kind of want to stick more to yellow. So yellow and yellow-orange. And then we're going to put quite a bit more pressure now because we are finishing this up to get it more of a vibrant color now. So we're putting quite a bit of pressure. I'm kind of more holding it at the tip of the pencil now instead of the end. But still trying to use the edge of the pencil, like the side of the pencil, not the tip. Because we want to still have those soft lines and nice tight circular motions as well. We don't want to gouge the paper, so don't push really hard, but we're just pushing firm. Firm pressure, the difference. And then we could also do a little bit lighter around the edges. This will help with the blending, the look of a blending technique. Let's blur the edges a little bit. Oh, turned down my opacity by accident. That's okay. It's not a problem. When I'm doing strobe, I like to have the opacity to the fullest, so that way I have an accurate comparison to the reference photo and the drawing. So I'm just doing lighter pressure as I go up to give a more of a blended look once it's done. Just kind of want to get that shadow that's underneath this metal decorative piece right here. I'm going to put some pressure using that same pencil that we've been using. Okay, and now we're going to the next shade, lighter. Overlapping some of that area we've already done. Not going all the way down, but we are overlapping it. Do you teach how to use the Mural Maker app? I can. I know how to use it. I don't have a lot of space for it, but I can at least show you how to set it up and how to control it, and then it should be pretty easy from there. I'll put that on the list of things to go over. I will possibly do that for the next, just before we do our next drawing. Oh, I just noticed that it's not going through all of the videos here, or it's not cycling through the camera's angles. So I apologize. There's always something I forget to do in these videos, and most of the time it's the sound. I want to do nice firm pressure at the bottom of this section here, and then just slowly get lighter as I go up. I'm glad that I learned about using a small smart TV to help me see my drawings better. It is great. I am so glad that it is possible to do that. I agree with you. So we're gonna get lighter a little bit as we go up from here. And I think I might add a little bit of, just a very small amount of this color in some of that darker shaded areas. I should have charged this one iPad here before I started, but that's okay. You can still compare your shades with the Vinci Eye App or your colors with the Vinci Eye App, so it's not a big deal if you don't have an extra tablet. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the edges here, just a little bit. Again, it helps the look of blending. Okay, now we're going to work with the other section. With a yellow, we're using yellow now. I think I might grab that other because I don't think it's up all the way as far as I'd like it to be in comparison to the reference photo. That shadow needs to be brought up a little bit more, so I'm going to use that other color. Nope. I broke the pencil. I put too much pressure on. I'm going to have to sharpen it now. So it's going to be darker on the top. Oh, I did it again. Oops. And darker just above that shadow. And then there's a light, and it gets lighter in the center. We're not using the tip of the pencil, so I'm not too worried about not having a sharp pencil. But that was annoying, having it break like that. And we're trying to preserve that brighter highlight. We're going to use the cream for on top of that. It's not white. I can see it's not white, so we're not going to keep it white. And again, it's darker on the bottom, and there's a little bit of a shadow on the top part, and we're gonna just preserve the middle. But color is hard for me, and wait. I would like us to keep doing more soft pastel portraits because I love doing portraits of people. But color is hard for me in portraits. They are difficult. I'm not going to say it's not difficult, but one thing that might help is to keep in mind of what colors make skin tone. So pastel portraits. So the colors mix, if you don't have a skin tone, is white, pink, and yellow is to make skin tone. So those are the basics. But on top of that, especially in the shadows, there's like blues and greens, and in the and also a little bit of red for like those really dark areas. So okay, I'm going to use the cream for those highlights because it's not white. So, a reason why people use blues and greens for inside portraits is that when you look at our skin, you can see like the veins and stuff, and they're blue and purples and greens in there. It just makes it more realistic if you just add a little bit of those colors too. Otherwise, it starts to look more animated, like a doll or something, instead of an actual person. I think I might go over it with a little bit of white and some of those highlights. Just a little bit. Handy dandy brush. I'm going to clean off some of those pencil bits. And the brush helps prevent it from getting it pushed into the paper and spread around, because pencils can still smudge a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to work on the bottom part of the door. And I think I'm going to do the cream colored first. We're going to work from light to dark. And it looks like the cream colored is everywhere. There's no bright white sections. So we're just going to shade in, holding your pencil at the very end and using the side of the pencil, and we're just going to preserve only like the metal areas or the areas that are not yellow. You can zoom in to get it more accurate if you want it to be. I kind of just want to focus on it as a whole in this section. We're going to go from the bottom of the window all the way down to the bottom of the car. Sorry, I'm just calling my husband because I can hear Jason screaming. I could hear my son outside and he's screaming out for my husband. He's cleaning the van right now, so he can't hear anything. It's got the vacuum going. I just wanted to let you know Jason was screaming at you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, bye. Is your reference photo down below? What do you mean? Is your reference photo down below? I have it on my tablet. I have it on the app. I have it posted if you want it. I have it posted in the Facebook group. It should be in the features, or it's in my personal Facebook page, Charity Lowe's Art. Or you can, if you have the iOS, you can find it in my profile and my inspiration section. If you need me to, I can send it to you directly. That's fine too. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the yellow. There isn't a lot to preserve in the bright, like the highlights. There's a little line that we can preserve. We are preserving a little bit. I'm gonna finish this layer. Okay. Okay, we are good for the day. We are going to return again next week, Thursday, from 10 to 12 Mountain Time. If you have any questions until then, I am more than happy to do a one-on-one video call if you want. It's no charge whatsoever. You can find me in the Facebook group, Da Vinci Eye's Facebook group. You can email me. You can message me in my through my Facebook page, Charity Loves Art, whatever is easiest for you. I'm also on different platforms as well under the same name, Charity Loves Art. But yeah, I'm here to help you anytime. Yeah, just contact at any time. If it's more of a tech thing, please email Sam through info@davinciieapp.com because he is the developer. He is more of the tech side of things. If you're having few glitches or whatever comes up, he will help you. So, anyways, thanks again for all the support, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.